Sue Bird is the latest to come to the defense of Caitlin Clark. But before we get off into today's video, you come across this video, do me a favor. Please like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you got your post notifications on so you know every time Simply Ball drops another hot banger. And if it's your first time coming across my YouTube channel, do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button, post your comments, share the video out. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up. I see everybody in the comment section, #salute, and you know what my mantra is. Tell a friend to tell a friend. It might not be for you, but it might be for them. Well, the WNBA must stop with this Caitlin Clark narrative. But before we get off into today's podcast, this podcast is sponsored by SeatGeek. SeatGeek, the official sponsor of Simply Ball Dropping Podcast, the #1 rated ticketing app, over 28 million downloads, 70,000 plus events from concerts to sports, all your tickets across the web, all in one place, rated 1 to 10. Green means good, red means bad, and backed by your buyer's guarantee. And remember, use my promo code SimplyBallDropping at checkout to get $20 off your purchase. Now, by using my promo code SimplyBallDropping at checkout, you're getting $20 off your purchase. Also, remember, you're supporting the Simply Ball Dropping podcast. Well, let's get right off into it. The Caitlin Clark narrative is still out there. The WNBA must stop. The WNBA and the media is making the WNBA all about Caitlin Clark. And this is what's happening. You got people making comments, people on these podcasts giving their opinions, basically the old WNBA veterans making their opinions about Caitlin Clark. And what we're doing as the media and these YouTube personnels and the YouTube media space, what we're really doing is trying to say that these people are hating on Caitlin Clark when they give their own assessment and their own personal opinions. For example, the interview that Cheryl Swoops did with Gil's Arena. Everybody said that Cheryl Swoops was hating on Caitlin Clark. I'm not going to make this about white or black or use the race card or anything like that, because I don't think that's what it is. These WNBA veterans are giving their assessment on Caitlin Clark coming into the WNBA. Then you got the likes of one of the Wally veterans and Diana Taurasi making her statements. And everybody thought that, she was underhandedly taking a shot at Caitlin Clark, which I don't think she was. The WNBA has a big problem on their hand right now, and it's the Caitlin Clark problem. This is what these WNBA veterans are saying. They're making the WNBA all about Caitlin Clark right now, which we all know that Caitlin Clark is the cash cow. She's the one that's putting butts in the seats. She's the ones that selling out these arenas. She's the one that has got the WNBA some financial stability, got the WNBA, charter flights. And when Angel Reese made a comment about something that Charles Barkley said, everybody wanted to make it seem like Angel Reese was taking a shot at Caitlin Clark, which she wasn't. She was firing back at Charles Barkley. But what Angel Reese was basically saying in the tweet is more than just one player in the WNBA. And I think Angel Reese was speaking up for all the veterans that have played in the NBA, the people that have retired as well. So what has that caused? That caused some rift for everybody to be talking about everybody is taking a shot at Caitlin Clark. I really don't think people are taking a shot at Caitlin Clark. The media wants to spin things and make it seem like these individuals are really taking shots at Caitlin Clark because they're only taking a sound bite of some of the interviews that are going on with these veterans, and they taking one clip and they using it and they spinning it and they creating this narrative that people are hating on Caitlin Clark. So what has happened now? One of the Wally veterans, retired player in Sue Bird, 19 luxurious, playing days in the WNBA, leader in minutes, leader in assists, recently retired in 2022. she's came out in the defense of Caitlin Clark. And she knows, the struggles that Caitlin Clark is going through. So she made her assessment on that. But what the media is going to do and what people are going to do, they're going to twist her words to make it seem like Sue Bird is hating on Caitlin Clark. So basically, Sue Bird can relate to Caitlin Clark's early frustrations about losing in the WNBA. But Bird knows from experience how things could change from much talked about the rookie. Now, Bird is 43 years old. She played at UConn, where she won an NCAA titles and lost only 4 games. Clark led her Iowa teammates to consecutive NCAA championship games while becoming the Division I career scoring leader. Both were number 1 picks in the WNBA draft 22 years apart and landed on last place teams. Now, Clark's Indiana Fever have just won 1 game in their first 7. Bird, who eventually won 4 WNBA titles with Seattle, recommends patience from Clark. She recently watched courtside when New York beat Clark in Indiana before more than 17,000 fans at the Barclays Center. Now, as a part owner of the Storm, Bird joins Lisa Leslie and Renee Montgomery as former WNBA players turned owners. Bird thinks more lucrative broadcast right contracts and improved collective bargaining agreements will dramatically change the WNBA landscape in the next few years. They may include better salaries, more teams, and more players on rosters. Clark, she's going to earn $76,000 as the number 1 pick, although she signed NIL deals in college with Gatorade, State Farm, and recently with Wilson as a pro. However, many of the WNBA stars compete in other countries to supplement their income, given 2024 veteran Supermax is $241,000. Now, the NBA has broadcast rights to generate more than $20 billion in revenue, and the 2023 top draft pick Victor Wembanyama earned $12.1 million as a rookie with San Antonio. The NBA minimum salary is $1.1 million, with Golden State Steph Curry, the top earner, with $51.9 million a year. Now, Bird spoke with the Associated Press during recent business of women's sports summits in New York City in several topics. Her comments have been edited for clarity and brevity. You see what they do there? See, her comments had to be edited so people wouldn't think that she was taking a shot at Caitlin Clark. But she understands the frustrations that Caitlin Clark is going through. But what these other WNBA players are basically stating, they want this narrative stopped about Caitlin Clark is the only product in the WNBA. Because you have more than just Caitlin Clark. You have the likes of Angel Reese, Cameron Brink, the class that came in, Camille Cardosa. I know she's hurt with the shoulder injury, but these rookies are, making a household name for themselves, but they don't get talked about as much as Caitlin Clark, because what they're trying to say is Caitlin Clark single-handedly is drawing all this revenue. Now, as the media personnel keeps on spinning people's comments and twisting it and getting it out of, whack about people hating on Caitlin Clark, me personally, I don't think people are hating on Caitlin Clark. I just think these WNBA players, like Angel Reese stated, speaking for a lot of veterans in the league, that there's more than just one player in Caitlin Clark in the WNBA. Now, we all know Caitlin Clark is the cash cow, but there's more than just one player. So we got to stop this narrative about Caitlin Clark. Everything that she does on the court, everybody's going to break it down, saying that she's having a bad, start to her season. Individually, as a person, I don't think she's having a bad start. The team is losing, but as an individual, Caitlin Clark is still putting up great numbers. So we got to look at it that way, and we got to stop spinning and twisting, these WNBA veterans' words on stating that everything that they say, their words are getting misconstrued by the media, and they're just taking a soundbite of certain things that they want to put out there to the media to make it seem like everybody's hating on the WNBA's poster child in Caitlin Clark. I really don't think that's the case. I just think that these WNBA players are, voicing their opinions, because on every show and every broadcast, people are going to ask questions about Caitlin Clark. So regardless of how you answer them, they're going to get misconstrued. And one thing that stood out in what Sue Bird said, that her comments had to be edited for clarity. because she didn't want people thinking that what she said was a shot at Caitlin Clark. So you guys let me know what y'all think down in the comments section. This narrative about Caitlin Clark, everybody hating on Caitlin Clark, I don't think that's the issue. I just think there are comments made by the WNBA veterans and people that have played in the game just saying that it's going to take time for Caitlin Clark. But you guys, do me a favor. When you leave out the door, make sure you give the video a thumbs up. And that's going to wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. We're going to catch you on the next one. Deuces.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.
That's all, folks.